Well, I've shared with you guys several times now that I've got a reservation in on the all-new 2022 Toyota Tundra. My truck is scheduled for production on December 6th, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And while I'm super excited about the all-new generation, I think there's a lot that's really good about the new model, some huge improvements over the current second generation model. I still think there's a lot to be said about this generation, and that's why in this video I want to talk about 5 reasons why you should consider buying the current second generation model over the all-new third generation model. Now, the first reason I'd consider buying the second generation of the Tundra is that it is tried and tested. It's been in production for about 14 years now with very few changes. There are a lot of test dummies out there on the road that have been driven for many miles now, including one that's got over 1 million miles. And chances are, if you buy a second generation model of the Tundra, it's going to be pretty reliable well into the future. Now, I've got a lot of confidence in Toyota when it comes to the third generation model as well, but there's definitely some risks there. For one, it's an all-new vehicle from the ground up, and any time that you've got an all-new vehicle from the ground up from any automaker, there's a risk that there's going to be some issues. And generally, in those first few years after an all-new model comes out, they resolve some of those issues, and you're going to find that the later models are more reliable than the early models. Likewise, the all-new Tundra is a lot more complicated than the second generation model. It's got a lot more luxury, it's got a lot more tech, a lot more features, and the powertrains are also a lot more complicated. And so there's just a lot more that can go wrong. In comparison, the second generation Tundra has got a naturally aspirated set of powertrains. The all-new model, the base engine's got a twin turbo. Turbos are known to fail. And then the higher end model is a twin turbo hybrid. And again, with a hybrid powertrain, there's just a lot more complexity, more chance for errors. Now, again, I've got a lot of confidence with Toyota and the all-new third generation model. I think that it's going to be pretty reliable, certainly compared with other models that are out there. But compared with the second generation model, if I was going to bet on one of the two models, definitely go with the second generation. The next reason why the second generation model is a great option to consider over the third is that it's a great option from a value standpoint. Pricing information was just released on the third generation model, the Tundra, and you're looking at a price increase of about 20% if you compare a similar trim package from 2021 to 2022. Now, obviously, the all-new model has a lot more features, a lot more technology, and so you're paying for some of that, but even so, it's still a significant price increase over the second generation model. Now, on top of that, if you already got a second generation model, or if you buy one quick, I think we're going to see a huge increase in resale value on those second generation models because of the third. Part of that is that you've got a lot of buyers that are cross-shopping the second and third generation models. They're going to see the price gap and they're going to go with the second generation model. And as that happens, it's going to reduce supply of the second generation model, increasing the price and closing that gap between the second and the third generation model. The other reason I think we're going to see resale value increase on the second generation model is that a lot of people aren't very excited about the switch from the 8-cylinder to the 2 6-cylinder options. A lot of people out there wanted Toyota to keep an 8-cylinder model in the lineup, and for that reason, I think there's going to be a very loyal following for the second generation Tundra among people that want an 8-cylinder engine. And we're going to see the same thing that we do with the Tacoma, where a lot of people like the third generation model, but they choose to go with the second generation model instead because they prefer the powertrain. Aftermarket features and modifications are sure to come for the third generation Tundra, but they're not here yet. And so if you're looking to do an overland build right now, the second generation model might be the way to go. With the second generation model, it's been out for a long time. There are a lot of available products, and there are a lot of example trucks out there that are going to help you with that as well, as opposed to the third generation model where you're really going to be kind of forging your own path. For example, you can get on Instagram or you can get on YouTube and you can see a lot of second generation Tundra builds. You can look at the products that you like and pick and choose them. If there's a specific bumper or set of sliders or roof rack that you want to see and visualize on a second generation Tundra, if you want to talk to an owner and ask them what they think about the various products, there's a lot of options that are available with the second generation. And again, for the third, you're not really going to have that option. For one, because there aren't very many people that are going to have these trucks for a while. And then again, there aren't going to be a lot of features to choose between either. And so you're going to be forging your own path. You're going to be waiting a little bit longer to get those things. With the second generation model, you can hit the ground running, a lot of products that are available, and you're going to really have a good idea of what they're going to look like, how they're going to function on the truck before you even get them. Another great thing about the second generation Tundra is that it's got a classic timeless design, unquestionably good looks. From its original inception, I think people were very fond of the design of the second generation Tundra. I think it got even better with the 2014 refresh, and I think it's going to be a great looking truck for many years to come. Now the third generation model in comparison is a bit more polarized. It's got more mixed reviews. When it was first revealed, a lot of negative responses. There's still a lot of people out there that are not crazy about the design. I wasn't in love with it when I first saw it either. It's really been growing on me since. But there's really something to be said about a design that you like from the moment that you see it and continue to like for another 14 years after it was originally produced. I think that really is a testament to the great looks of this truck. Again, with the third generation model, I think it's going to continue to grow on people. It's going to continue to feel more normal and people are going to like it more. But there's something about the unquestionable good looks of the second generation Tundra. The fifth and final reason to consider buying the second generation Tundra over the third is that the third generation model is going to be around for a long time. You've got a lot of time to buy one, to have that chance to own one. But the window's kind of closing on the second generation model, especially if you want to get one that's in really good condition. It's the last time that you can buy a brand new second generation Tundra. It's going to be a lot harder to find low mileage, excellent condition models. It's going to be a lot harder to find fully stock Tundras. But again, with the third generation model, you've got a lot of time for that. And in fact, the third generation model is probably going to get better with time. There's going to be more features available. There's going to be more color options available because supply is going to grow with time. You're going to be able to get it for a better price because there's going to be new models, but there's also going to be used models. And like any vehicle, they improve it over time as well. So there's probably going to be additional luxury or technology features that they add in time. There may be refinements or improvements. Potentially if there's reliability issues in early years. Again, they're going to improve those on the third generation model with time. With the second generation model, this is as good as it gets. It's been in production for 14 years. They've figured things out. A model like this 2021 is as nice as it's going to get. It's got all the features. It's got all the technology. They've improved things over the years. It's very low mileage, excellent condition. And it's the last chance that you're going to be able to get that. And so there's a lot to be said about that, especially if you've always wanted to have the second generation Tundra. Buy one now, experience it now, and there's still plenty of time to own the third generation down the road. Now that I've sold you all on the second generation Tundra, you're probably wondering why I'm buying the third generation model, and there's two reasons for that. The first one is that although I love this truck, I think it's a great looking truck, it's comfortable, it's powerful, and very capable, the fuel economy is terrible. And that is the number one reason that I never bought one of these in the past. I would have loved to, but that is the thing that always kept me away. And so obviously we're seeing a huge improvement with the third generation model. That was really the main selling point for me, getting into the third generation model. And then the second reason is that although the second generation Tundra is really cool, it's been around for about 14 years now, and from a YouTube standpoint, I just don't think people are going to be as excited if I were to go and buy a second generation Tundra and do a build on it. Whereas with the third generation model, it's new, it's exciting, people have a lot of questions, they want to see modifications, and so I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for me to create content, share with you guys what I think about the truck, and so that's really the reason that I'm going with the third generation Tundra, despite some of the downsides. So that's what I got for you guys. Love to hear your comments, feedback in the section below. To stay up to date on my third generation Tundra, be sure to subscribe. And in the meantime, thanks for watching.